Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got a couple of very interesting bodybuilding updates. The one we're starting with is gonna be from Sergio Oliva, who just posted a physique update and he's looking good. He's looking great. I mean, for his standards, I guess, there is a really high standard that Sergio needs to live up to because his father was Sergio Oliva Sr., obviously, and he's one of the greatest bodybuilders in the history of bodybuilding, really. If you look at the eras of bodybuilding, you would have Sergio Oliva, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney, Ronnie Coleman, I guess Phil Heath. That's probably your top five. You can probably include Dorian and Jay Cutler as well, but Sergio Oliva Sr. was really ahead of his competition back in the day. During the late 60s, he won the Mr. Olympia 3 times before Arnold came, and then Arnold dominated for a couple of years. But before the Arnold era, he was really freaking dominant. And you could argue that he was even better than Arnold, but they gave it to Arnold because Arnold was more popular. So we all know, Sergio Oliva Sr., one of the greatest Mr. Olympias of all time, and his son is now competing. And we are all kind of expecting Sergio Oliva Jr. to be, at least a top 6 Olympian. But he never really reached that far. I mean, he won a couple of shows. I think his biggest achievement was winning the New York Pro 2017, which is still amazing. I mean, there is so many sons of famous bodybuilders who are not even doing bodybuilding, who are not even training or competing. And, these guys like Hunter Labrada and Sergio Oliva are top professionals. So that would still be, that is still amazing. But, people have high expectations, really high expectations. So he kind of always sort of disappointed. And I think because of that, because of the way people feel about him, he seems kind of outraged at everybody. He always is complaining about something. He always has some sort of issues. He's always coming up with different reasons why he wasn't on, why he didn't win, this and that. He seems like a very emotional person, not very stable. I don't know, man. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, this is him right now at 308 pounds, as he says right here. He says the weight doesn't matter, but because everyone will ask, it's 308 pounds. And I mean, does it really not matter? I mean, he's a taller guy. He's like Samson's height. So, just like with Regan Grimes, I mean, he's heavier than Regan at least. And Regan is there commenting in the comment section as well. But, he's at least 308 pounds. Regan is like 302 max. But still, if these guys want to be the best in the world, they need to be as heavy as the best guys in the world. I mean, Samson, who is the same height basically as these guys, is almost like 350 in the off-season. So that's how heavy these guys need to actually be, at least like 330. But for 308, this is actually very good conditioning. He does look very big, massive. The arms are looking big, especially since he's doing this pose, crab pose. It's difficult to make your arms look big in this pose unless your arms are really freaking massive. So, yeah, that's looking good. Chest is looking thick, shoulders are looking nice, legs are looking pretty good. I mean, I don't think he has the genetics, the structure to be like the next Mr. Olympia winner. And even though his name is Sergio Oliva Jr., he is no chicken spring. He's actually 40 years old and he's turning 41 this year. So he's basically almost as old as Brandon Curry. He can go and compete at the Masters Mr. Olympia this year. So, he's not somebody young who is coming up. He has been doing this sport for a very long time now. And if he hasn't reached the heights that we all kind of hoped he would, I don't think he's going to do it this year. But still, again, winning pro shows like New York Pro, that's still a huge achievement. And what's going to happen this year, which show he's going to do, I don't know yet. I know his coach is Stefan Kinsel. Surprise, surprise. So I think it is pretty safe to expect him to be at his absolute best. As you can see, he looks massive. Look at his side chest. I mean, the legs are looking huge. But I don't know. I don't love his structure, especially in the side chest. The triceps are super dominant, the shoulders are kind of lacking. The chest is kind of flat from the side, and the waist looks pretty thick. And the legs, I think he's like femur bone. He's kind of short, so I don't love his structure in the side chest. But he has some really good shots. So, I don't have really huge expectations from this guy. I can see him winning a pro show. Not a huge level pro show, but something like, I don't know, let's say Toronto, Chicago, something like that, and qualifying for the Mr. Olympia. And I can see him, best case scenario, if he truly nails it, and if he's actually improved, and if everything goes smoothly for him for the first time in his life, I can see him like cracking the top 10 at the Mr. Olympia, best case scenario. That's the way I see it, guys. Whatever you think, tell me down below. Alright, the next story we got is, well, how would I put this? I mean, we kind of have a new Kai Green. Big Ramy is kind of becoming the new Kai Green. And you know what it means to be a Kai Green. Being a Kai Green means announcing a comeback and never really coming back. That's what it means. Announcing a show and never doing it. So, Big Ramy is being a Kai Green right now. Here is this journalist from Middle East who made this story, this post right here, as you can see. And he says, Big Ramy will participate in the Mr. Olympia 2025 and will be a fierce competitor to Samson Dauda. I want to know your opinion. Ramy can catch the Mr. Olympia for a third time. Now, this was posted by this Middle East journalist. He's very popular, has a lot of followers. He has been sharing different stories about these Middle Eastern bodybuilders over the years. And this is basically coming from Big Ramy's sponsor, allegedly. And this is circling around the internet right now. We don't know if it is true or not. But AJ Kelly Roberts, who is also a bodybuilding journalist, just did a little investigation and he posted this. Basically, he says, after several DMs from Big Ramy fans celebrating his return yesterday, I did an investigation. A bodybuilding reporter Ashraf El Khofi announced yesterday Big Ramy will make his 2025 return at his 2025 Mr. Olympia. This information was provided to him by one of his sponsors, Nasser Al-Msabi. He says in his article. And now the next part, I'm having trouble understanding this because obviously AJ's grammar is not very good. So he says, I reached out to several high players in the US and I did some positive feedback that if is true, doesn't make any sense. So I really can't tell you what this means. My best guess would be that he received some positive feedback that it seems like this is true, I guess. Let's see, one thing is for sure, a Big Ramy return would be the ultimate story to see how he looks next to Samson Derek. We pray the article by blank is true. Oh my god, this guy needs to really check his grammar before he makes this post. But yeah, I think you got the idea. Basically, yeah, there is, I guess, some positive feedback. Some people are kind of saying that there might be something cooking, like that maybe Big Ramy will come back. But I personally feel the same way Ian Valier does. As you can see there in the comment, he says, I need to see it happen to believe it. This was also said in previous years, and we never saw it. Yeah, I know. Again, Big Ramy is kind of being a Kai Green. At this point, you know, he announced so many things and he didn't really deliver. But this time around, he is not really announcing anything. This is just an online rumor that is going around. People are sharing this. They're telling us what they think, what they heard. But Big Ramy didn't really say anything yet. But even if he did, I still wouldn't believe it until I saw it, because he also was announcing certain things and he didn't show up. I mean, at this point, what would he really do if he even came back? I mean, this is the way he looked back in 2023 at the Arnold Classic. So if he does the Mr. Olympia, it's going to be 2.5 years in between. He's not old, guys. He's basically the same age as Sergio Oliva. He's 40 right now. So age is not really an issue, but his physique basically disappeared. My best guess is, you know, his muscle just started to atrophy at one point because of too much site enhancement. Like, he probably created too much damage to all of his muscle, like especially the legs, tricep, bicep, forearms, lats, calves, everything really. And I don't think there is enough stem cells in this world that can make him come back. I don't think so. And even if he came back and if he was, let's say, 20% better than this, he still wouldn't be winning the Mr. Olympia. There is no chance of that happening. So, best case scenario, if he improves from this by some magic, by some miracle, you know, maybe he would be... I can't imagine seeing him in the top 5, top 6, not with this lineup that we have today. So, what is the point of him coming back and being like top 10 at the Mr. Olympia? I mean, it's pointless. And I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. But there is this rumor, it's out there. I wanted to share it with you guys to hear your thoughts on it. I doubt that's going to happen, but if they're saying it, maybe it will. What do you guys think? Tell me down below. Alright, and finally we got a physique update from Samson Dauda at 6 weeks out of the Arnold Classic. Actually, this was at 7 weeks out, but it was posted today on the Hostile YouTube channel. By the way, guys, if you're trying to get as big as Samson Dauda, you should probably do what Samson Dauda is doing and have some Hostile whey isolate. It's a really pure whey isolate, probably one of the best, one of the purest whey isolates out there, really. You can probably find something cheaper out there, but this is really high quality. If you want the quality, this is what you get. And if you use my code IVAN, you get a 10% discount. So it's not that expensive, but you're buying the best stuff out there pretty much. Or if you don't care about the quality and you just want to support me and my channel, you can just do that by using my code IVAN. It's going to help me out a lot, guys. Anyways, let's continue now. Samson Dauda physique update at 7 weeks out. And things are honestly looking really good for 7 weeks out. I think he is leaner than he usually is at this point in prep. And considering the fact that he was basically traveling all around the world after the Mr. Olympia for like 2 months, this just makes it even more impressive. And also, this means that if he locks in right now for the finish of this prep, he's gonna just, get better and better. And I'm pretty sure, I believe that this is going to be the best Samson Dauda we saw so far. I mean, why wouldn't it? I mean, so far, he basically made progress from show to show every time. I mean, I don't know when will that stop. It will stop at one point. I don't know exactly when, but I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. I mean, he's 38 right now. And for example, Ronnie Coleman was, I believe, 39 in 2023 when he reached his absolute best. Sean Roden won the Mr. Olympia at 43. You know what Dexter Jackson did until he was 50. So there is a big chance that Samson is going to continue improving for a number of years. Again, at one point he's going to start to stagnate, and then at some point he's going to start to fade. That's going to happen. It's inevitable, but I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I mean, for these past couple of years, every time we saw Samson on stage, he was better than the previous time. Until I see him worse, or at least the same, I am not gonna stop believing that he's gonna make progress. So, I do believe he will be improved. How much improved? We'll see. I also believe Derek will be improved as well, quite a bit. So it's gonna definitely be a battle between those two guys. I don't see Andrew Jack being a contender, really. Not even Carlos Thomas Jr., not Brandon Curry. I think it's gonna be between Samson and Derek. It's gonna be a tough battle, but the way Samson is looking right now, I think it's gonna be extremely difficult for somebody like Derek to beat him, but we'll see. Anyways, you guys tell me down below in the comment section what do you think. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more content like this, subscribe to this channel, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. All the best, and bye-bye.